Yeah, well, bit of a journey. Just came from Brisbane, so drove down, hopped on the Spirit. So took me a couple of days to get here, but it's been all smooth since. Checked in yesterday, met some of the office staff, and first day at it today.
So tell us how we know you've been with Illawarra. Did you leave on your own terms there, or didn't get a contract, or how did that sort of play out?
Yeah, didn't really get a contract. Obviously, like the off-season signings aren't necessarily done there, but nothing was locked in straight away, and it kind of just tested out what I had, and then this opportunity presented itself and seemed to be the best one for me, so took it.
I mean, it was pretty exciting here last year, obviously. Was that a big factor in you coming down here, I guess, as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's attractive. Like as a player, you want to be in a winning environment and a culture that you see yourself fitting into, and I do. So I think whilst I didn't necessarily have an abundance of options, I'm super happy that this was one of them, and as I said, I'm excited.
There was only a sign a replacement player option for you. There was no sort of interest in a full-time spot in the list anyway?
There was interest for sure. As I said, teams aren't necessarily done with signings and stuff like that, but this was an opportunity that I just saw working out for me. I like the fit, and I'm excited to have a chance at playing.
Was it out of the blue for you to get that call, and when you did, how did you react?
I think all of it's kind of out of the blue. Like free agency, you can hear nothing for weeks, and then something can just pop up. So it was out of the blue, but there was a process, to signing it. I had to talk to some people, talk with the coaching staff and stuff like that, and lock it down that way.
And you speak about the opportunity here at Tasmania. What do you hope to get out of your time here in Tasmania as an injury replacement? I suppose it's making the most out of the chance that you've now got.
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to grow as a player. Obviously, I'd love to hit the floor as much as I can and help the team out, but I've just got to put in the work in this off season. Enjoy being here too. Like it's a cool opportunity to be a professional basketball player. So I'm just going to embrace that, and then if I can help the group out, help us get some wins, and see what happens from there.
Pretty big shoes to fill, I suppose, replacing Clint Dempsey, the captain and a very good shooter in his own right. Have you been told what's sort of required from you and what's expected from you in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not going to be, a complete replacement per se. I think I'm obviously not the captain. He's a different stature to I am and stuff like that. So I'm just going to bring what I bring to the group, and hopefully that does fill some of the void that he leaves. So I'm just going to focus on me. Hopefully he gets healthy when he gets healthy, and we'll go from there.
As a player, what are you hoping fans see from you this year?
Hopefully I'll shoot the ball well. Something I hang my hat on, and I think I respect. I grew in Illawarra is just how I go about the game. I think I play hard. I think I play with energy and passion and stuff like that. So I think the fans can expect that from me, and hopefully I can produce as well on both ends.
You referenced the culture that was built here last year. Specifically, what about the culture? Is it hard work that really appealed to you?
Yeah, I think that's the vibe you get from the outside looking in. Like obviously, on paper, there were questions about this group last year. Where is the talent and stuff like that. But they made the grand final for a reason. I think, and playing against them too, you feel it. Like they play basketball the right way. They're a tight knit group. I remember being in a hotel when we played them last time. I think it was in Launceston, and they were all eating breakfast together, tight. I'm not necessarily used to that. So that's the sort of stuff I noticed, and I'm pretty excited to be part of a really tight-knit group and a tight-knit team.
Do you know what the rules are around injury replacements, mate? Are you, when the team comes back, are you able to go and play for another team, for example, if the opportunity arises, or are you locked to the JJs for this season now?
Yeah, I'm still learning, to be honest with you. I think there's so many catches and stuff like that in contracts. Like obviously I read my contract pretty closely, but as far as I understand, it's a situation where I'm going to come here and do what I can do, and then I think there's going to be a decision made. Obviously, when he's back, you can only floor 11 guys and stuff like that. So if it's the right fit, obviously I'd love to stay on. If it's not the right fit, I think technically, contractually, I can move elsewhere. But I mean, I just got here. I'm certainly not thinking about that. I'm excited to be where my feet are, and I'm just trying to make the most of this one.
Coach is on board with the haircut, no issues there?
Haven't discussed the haircut yet. We'll get there, as I said, day one. Just being myself for now, but open to suggestions.
Had you spent much time in Tassie as a kid?
Not as a kid, no. Obviously, I've been in the NBL this is my 3rd year. I've played a couple of games here. We had to play New Zealand here twice without no fans. That was not my favourite experience. However, coming and playing like in front of a couple packed stadiums last year was really fun. So last year, I think at least 4 times alone.
What do you think Illawarra went in a different direction, mate? Was change of coach, obviously, was that part of their decision, do you think? Or?
Potentially. Like I had a good relationship with Gorge at Illawarra and stuff like that. And I think last year just wasn't necessarily the right fit for me. I was playing behind 4 basically import guards. That was tough. No bad words to speak about that situation though. Like I loved it there and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, from the feedback I got, I do all the right things, but they want to head in a different direction, and that's the business you're in. So.
You had a chance to speak to Clint, mate. What was his message when you signed up?
Yeah, Clint reached out right away. He was really good. He's been awesome. He sent me a map of how to get here and where to park and stuff like that. So he's been right on top of it, and I really appreciate that. But, we just kind of just are familiar with each other. We've played against each other for a couple of years now, so he's made me feel welcome, and that's all I can ask for right now.
Have you heard from anyone else on the team?
Yeah, I mean, once I got added to the group chat, everyone basically reached out. I'm familiar with... I played with Will Magnay, Matt Kenyon, guys like that before. Sam McDaniel used to referee my high school game. So there's some familiarity there, and they've all made me feel welcome even at practice. Like there's a lot of communication, and that's been smooth so far.
Ever any brouhaha with Sam when he was repping your games?
I don't really know what that part is, but
any fights, any scuffles?
Any scuffles? No. Sam. Yeah, probably disagree with a couple of his calls, but to be fair, he kind of looked after my team for the most part. He was kind of a little bit biased, so I'm happy with that.
I don't know why I
Yeah, they made it tough.
And what are your initial impressions of Tasmania and also Tasmanian fan base?
The fan base I've known for a while is great. Obviously, sold out pretty much every game I've seen from last year, and the atmosphere when I played here last year was awesome. I was in the pressure after the game, and I mentioned it then. Like it made a difference. So super excited to be a part of that. And then Hobart in general. Haven't seen too much of it. I've scooted around here once on one of my road trips last year. Saw some of like the water and stuff like that. So it's a pretty place. But I'm excited to go through the city and then see some more nature and stuff like that.